Hello everyone and welcome back to Flow of Control, and we studied about the for loops, and we need to continue that up for a bit, and then we are going to jump for the while loop itself. So what while loop says in this loop, when a statement to be executed till a particular condition turns false. Condition must become false at some point of time to end the loop. It is also an anti-control loop. So what we are saying that in this loop is quite simple in terms of syntax. You just need to specify while and a condition and a statement. So until this condition is satisfied, mm, your program is going to run. Uh, uh, or you can say the while body is going to run. So you can read it as if while the condition is true, run this statement. Okay, so you can read this like this also. And for the for loop, you can read it like uh, I am going to initialize I here itself, and I is less than 5 plus I. For you are basically saying for the variable I, iterate this statement according to the condition and the updation. Okay, so for loop is basically like a staircase ladder. Okay, and the staircase is governed by this variable I, where on which step we need to start climbing the stair is determined by the initial. If I'm going to go for, suppose, number 3, I is equals to 3, then I'm going to start with the number 3 itself, or the position of the staircase itself. And then we have this condition which says up to which stair step or up to which level of the staircase do we want to climb. And the third, which is the increment state, or you can say decrement also, how many steps do we need to take at once? Do we need to climb up the stair with single steps, or double steps, or triple step, or in some cases 2 to the power something else step? And you can this statement can be manipulated as I is equals to I sorry I plus equals to 2, when in this case we will be taking 2 steps in a staircase ladder. Okay, so this is how you can read a for loop variable for better understanding. And I'm going to write the same program in the while loop for printing uh, 0 to 4. So what I'm going to need a variable integer I is equals to 0 while I is less than 5. Just print out I, and let I be equals to I plus 0.5. No, not 0.5, but 1. Or you can say, simply you can say plus I, or I plus plus, both are going to work. We should expect the same result. Yes, okay, I'm getting a comma. That's not a problem. Let's go within compiler, how the compiler is treating the things. So it has initialized this statement, and it is initialized I to 0, and it is checking for the condition is true, which is true, and it is printing the statement, it is incrementing it, and then it is jumping to the condition, then checking, then going for the body, then incrementing, and this step uh, and this goes until the condition turns out to be false, or when the value of I reaches 5. And generally we do not use while loops for these conditions. We use while loop for some conditions, right? Unless the user enter no, or types no, uh, run the particular set of statements and ask user at the end again, do you want to repeat the steps or not, something like that. You will get when you are going to practice some questions itself. And you can see the flow chart of for loop. It simply says you need to test the condition. If the condition turns true, then body of loop. Then again go to condition, then false. If the condition turns false, then terminate the loop. So this will go endlessly until the condition is turns out to be false. Okay, and this was for loop, for and while loop. Now we have the third loop, that is do while loop. Okay, it is an exit control loop. It is the only exit control loop, and rest two are entry control loop. I hope you can guess why they are called exit and entry control loop after you see its flowchart. So do while loop always execute at least once. The body of do while is executed until condition turns false. So the syntax says do, and then the body of the loop, and then we have while, and then condition. And there is a change. There is a bit of change, or you can say notice that you have a semicolon at the end, and in neither of the two loops that we studied earlier had semicolon at the end or at the end of the condition itself. So do while is the only loop that has the semicolon at the end. And people generally get this error of not adding the semicolon, and you need to keep this in mind. Okay, so the special thing about do while is it first executes the statement or the block itself, and then goes and checks the condition. So in any case, oh, the do while loop is going to get executed at least one time. Okay, so you can go for the flowchart. If the flowchart says first do while loop body, then test the condition, then if it is true, then go for the body again. If it is false, you terminate the loop. So it is called exit control loop because it is checking the condition or it tests the condition at the very end of the loop, not at the entry point. The entry point is not the condition, the exit point is the condition. Okay, whereas in the while and do while loop, we first check the condition. The condition is checked before entering into the loop, or you can say before entering into the body itself. So those two are called exit entry control loop because the condition is checked at the time of the entry in the body, and in this case, the condition is checked when we exit the body of the loop. Okay, so so let me demonstrate what do I mean by that the do while loop is going to get executed at least once. Suppose the value of I be 5 itself, okay, and I have do, then we have body of do while, okay, the condition is I is less than 5. So I is less than 5, which is all very obvious false, but you will see here that the body of loop is going to get executed. And we are going to go with the compiler step by step. So let's run the program. So compiler is on the our very first statement, and it is going for the body itself, directly to the body, and it is checking condition after that. After exiting the body, it is checking the condition, and you can see the value of I is already been printed, and we have exited the loop because at the very first case the condition was turned out to be false. So let's perform the same with the same output, or you can say let's get the same output for this loop also. Okay. Okay, we are ending up with an infinite loop because we are not incrementing the value of I. So I need to stop the program. So I need to add this statement at the end so that the value of I gets updated. So you can see the same output in here. So okay, so the thing that is different about do while loop is it is going to get executed at least once, and rest depends on the condition. Okay, so this was all the loops, and in next lecture we are going to practice a question, I guess, and we're going to practice the questions and going to learn about the nested loops in next to next lecture. So this was all about this.